Good morning, or good evening if you're on the other side of the planet. Okay, so I got this picture of Africa overlaid over the weather. I aligned this to weather like months ago, and I just wanted to show, people are always looking around for the history of ancient cultures and things like that. Well, Africa was here at one time. You can see this in the weather really well. A couple different places. You can see Africa in the weather all over the planet, actually. But you can see it really well here in the. This is where the monsoon weather takes place, and I want to show this because it's interesting to see what kind of weather used to be over the Sahara Desert in the past, and you can actually see like this point. It comes to the point in the weather here, and it has this curved area here. Well, you can see that in Africa. This weather was in Africa at one time. See that? See the point here and the curve that comes up here. This is not really shown in Google Earth too well. This is a topo map of Africa I downloaded a long time ago, and I use it a lot because it shows the actual details of the continent. You know what I mean? It shows a lot more detail than this Africa does, as you can see. And this is the weather today in Africa. Look at this. Just nothing in the Sahara, but this is ancient weather from Africa. This Africa was here at one time. You can actually see the weather as I fade it out. You can see the A for the alpha here. Yeah, fade that out real quick. See the A shape in the weather. Now this is one alignment I have of Africa. This is not the one I usually show. This is the one where I have it aligned to the Philippines here, and I'll show you that real quick. Fade out the weather and show you this alignment here. See how the A shape is there in Africa with the point right there at Egypt, right? And you wonder why. I don't wonder anymore. I know why a lot of things. I've seen all these things so many times. These weather patterns show like this curve. Sometimes it'll show this big curve in Africa, and the mystery of the desert glass and all that stuff is not a mystery to me. It's not a mystery. I'm not It's not mysterious to me whatsoever. I mean, I can see all this stuff, all these amazing things on the earth that are created by something, and what it shows is usually the moon. But I'm not even including the moon these days in my videos, really, because I don't need to. I'm just trying to show you the history of the planet itself. Just the continents moving is amazing enough to me, just to see that. And you can see that Africa was here in the past. And it was here where I show it here too. I show it here. This is the other alignment I used to show the alignment with Australia, which shows the weather too. The weather shows it really well too. I aligned this to actually aligned it to weather, and you can see the weather fit here too. I mean, even this spot that I just showed down here, this weather right here fits here too. Look. See how everything's just in line? Just really nice. Just wanted to point that out. Ancient African weather. And it puts Africa with Asia, basically. I mean, the supercontinent. I mean, Asia was down here, too. Asia was over here. Everything comes from where this subduction is. Everything is created, I think, from this subduction. This is the deepest place on Earth that created continents, and this created continents, and they were massive eruptions. This was a big volcano right in the center here. Obviously, Lake. I've aligned this to where I know that Lake Victoria was a volcano that is related to Yellowstone, that is also related to the desert in China. Here, this used to be a volcano as well. Same with all the Caspian, the Black Sea, the Aral Sea. All of these areas were volcanoes, and they go all the way around the whole planet, just in a ring, in a string. Actually, it'd be a better description, like a string. Here, 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 probably there, and we know they're over here. The Alps, all the way over here into the Azores, right here. We know that's the same one, and this is the same one at the Gulf of St. Lawrence. See the teardrop shape? That's the teardrop shape you see in the desert in China. All the way over here to the Great Lakes, and then it goes over here to. I've seen it in California, and I've also seen it over Yellowstone. That teardrop shape. Seen it over California before. it just shows all around. And this is probably the same thing in Hawaii. I mean, all the way around. We've seen it over by Japan. Japan is the same volcano basically, and we've seen it all the way around in the weather, that teardrop shape. And here is the teardrop shape again, right here in Africa, in the Sahara, that teardrop shape, and then it comes back to like this volcano that was right here, and look where Lake Toba ends up. With this alignment that is properly aligned, this is Africa, aligned over a place where it used to be, and then here's Lake Toba eruption that supposedly killed off 75% or more of, you know, all living species on Earth. They said maybe 1,000 humans maybe lived, you know, after this or whatever. But this is, you can see it's related to the same volcano. And then if in the other alignment it puts Lake Victoria like in this area or something, like, if I remember right. Let's see. Okay, Lake Victoria was part of, anyways, it's all part of the same teardrop shaped volcano. This thing gets around. I mean, like I said, I've seen it. We see it down here. We see it over here by Japan, all the way around the globe. And if you could take this and put it right inside, this is that same teardrop shape. You see the round end is this part here, and I've aligned the teardrop volcano all over the place. It's pretty interesting that this is whatever creates this is, I don't know, the tears of Christ or the claw print of mistakes, many different names. The Alpha, and right now there's supposed to be like a cyclone or typhoon right here, and we can see that all over in the weather, that A shape. I just seen it the other day over here by in the Atlantic, actually, or I guess you would call it the Atlantic, the North Atlantic. It was like right here. Seen it the other day, and you can see the A shape in the land right here. Look, here it is right here. See the A? It's the same one. And look, here's the teardrop volcano right here. So there's the A shape. You could take this over to the Philippines, actually, this A shape right here, and overlay it over there, and it'll show that the typhoons, like I've been showing lately, that picture of the weather that looks like Indonesia and the Philippines. It's shaped like an A, and it has that like hurricane up here in the upper corner on this side. And lately, I mean, this past I don't know, it was probably the beginning of the year, we've seen those big cyclonic patterns right here over the Hudson Bay. They were spinning around. I mean, it's right in the right place. Here's the A, and here's another one right here, Alaska, starting with an A, ending with an A. This is the A as well, this A here. And what do we see here in the Gulf of Alaska? The same circular pattern off to the side of the A in the same exact place, this A shape. And that's funny that Alaska is another AA name, just like America, and just like, I mean, this would be America too, or Central America. These are all America, all ending and starting and ending with the letter A. Africa, starting with an A, ending with an A. We don't count Europe. Asia, starting with an A, ending with an A. Antarctica, Australia. Just interesting, the A. And that would put that volcano like right here somewhere, which we've seen it in the weather here, actually. The teardrop shape in the weather in several places. But that, and then the typhoon shape would be right here, which is where today, right now, we see right here that they don't show you very good weather on Google Earth anymore. But if I was to take you to Wonder Maps or something like that, you would see a much more spiraling cyclonic pattern here, I do believe. Right next to the A. Right next to the A. So the A is important. It's the first letter in the alphabet. Obviously it's important, and it comes from the letter A on the land. Just like you see here is the A, that is the A. And we see it in our weather over North America all the time, the A. Just seen it over here the other day. I made a video about it. I saved the picture, and I don't remember what I titled it, but when I find it, I'll share it on Google Plus or something. Anyways, everybody have a great day, great night. Thank you for watching. Sahara weather. That was pretty interesting. I think that's a pretty interesting thing to think about when you're thinking about civilizations from the ancient times. I mean, we know that there was weather here, or like a lot of water here and big lakes and all that stuff, but it was probably when it was here with the monsoon weather. It was here at one time. That's where Africa once. I mean, it's been in many places, but it was definitely here at one time. All right. Thank you.